The pandemic has led to a growing number of households experiencing hunger in 2020. 54 million people are expected to be food insecure by the end of the year, according to the nonprofit Feeding America. That number includes 18 million children. With unemployment levels rising and the ongoing health crisis, the organization says the demand for food assistance in the U.S. could remain at record high levels for years to come. So shocking. For more on this, I'm joined by Tamara Sandberg. She's the U.S. Food Security and Nutrition Advisor for Save the Children. The nonprofit is an international organization seeking to protect and assist vulnerable kids. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that we're talking about the United States here, Tamara. How has the pandemic shined a new light on families struggling to put food on the table?
Yes, even before the pandemic, 1 in 7 American children lived in a household that didn't already always have enough food to eat. And we know that's increased. And now 1 in 4 children in America don't always have enough food to eat. And that's simply unacceptable. One hungry child is one too many.
That certainly is the case. 1 in 4 children is expected to be food insecure by the end of this year. What are some of the lasting impacts this could have on their health and development?
We know that child hunger puts children's growth, development, and well-being at risk. Hunger can negatively impact their performance in school and their behavior. We know that children who don't have enough food to eat can have lower math scores. They're more likely to repeat a grade. Kids can't be hungry for knowledge if they're hungry for food.
That's certainly the case. It has wide-reaching implications if they can't, get a meal. One place that a lot of children rely on is school. How are school closings contributing to the increase in child hunger amid the pandemic?
Yes, the widespread school closings since the pandemic have drastically impacted the 30 million American kids who rely on free and reduced price meals at schools. Now, many school districts across the nation are true heroes, and they've been working incredibly hard to get food out to kids even while the schools are closed. But we know that there's kids who are missing meals while the schools are closed because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's so sad to see that, and so many families who are in these food lines for the first time. So, for people who may not be sure where to go, what are some of the programs and resources struggling families and households can take advantage of to help put food on the table?
So you mentioned Feeding America. That the private sector food bank network in America is wonderful. So people can go to feedingamerica.org to find a food bank. The federal nutrition programs truly are the backbone in the fight against hunger. So we would encourage any family that's struggling to put food on the table, if you haven't already enrolled in SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or formerly known as food stamps, to please enroll in that. Children can access additional support through the Pandemic EBT program. So there are federal options available, and we just encourage everybody to make use of them to ensure their kids have enough food to eat.
And Tamara, you had mentioned earlier that this was a problem before the pandemic. It just pushed so many more families to plunge into that food insecurity situation. So, broad strokes here, what do you think are some long-term solutions to help put the U.S. on the path to ending food insecurity?
Yeah, so Save the Children, we have been working in rural communities for many years and pivoted to address food insecurity when it became so clear that families were struggling. So we've been distributing food boxes in many rural communities thanks to the USDA's program. So there's no question that the federal safety net works in America. The SNAP program has helped keep millions of American children from really suffering even more. So there's no question we need this stimulus bill, the most recent relief package, to pass. It includes an increase of 15% across the board for SNAP recipients. We need that to pass, and we need longer-term safety net that will truly ensure that all children have the food that they need. And in addition to all the work that's being done in the private sectors by our schools and partners to help make sure that kids have the food they need to thrive and succeed.
Yeah, those are some important points there. Tamara Sandberg, thank you, and thank you for taking the time on this holiday to chat with us.
Thank you for bringing attention to it.